Whoa. Wait, do I?
Guess who gets a surprise video about AOL? That's right, you do. America Online had us in a death grip in the 90s and early 2000s. At AOL's height, there was literally a rom-com based off them starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan that did like $182 million in profit.
There's hand holding and there's telling you how to use the X button in the corner.
So yeah, that hand-holding, that's exactly why AOL was so successful. Getting online or networking, that's been around since the dawn of computers with this thing called bulletin board systems. That's what they talk about so much in Cyberpunk 2077, if you've noticed that. Anyway, AOL's parent company called Quantum Computer Services had this thing called Quantum Link, which is like extremely user-friendly, and it was this whole walled-off garden thing where they held your hand entirely along the way. Fast forward to 1991, and Quantum made a similar system for IBM PCs that was called AOL. They offered access to this thing called Usenet as well as their own keyword sites, and for your casual boomer or Gen Xer getting online for the first time, these training wheels were perfect. And in 1993, they added @AOL.com email addresses for every subscriber and access to the World Wide Web. As Google didn't exist and search engines were really in their infancy, AOL.com's web directory was the starting point for almost every internet user's journey at this point in time. Once you got onto AOL's actual service, you would see this. A friendly color-coded interface that allowed you to enter a URL, access email, chat rooms, and AOL's own keyword sites. These keyword sites were little mini websites that you could access the news, other chat rooms, and pretty much anything on the real internet, but within the relative safety of AOL's own servers. They even offered games like Neverwinter Nights entirely on their servers. Fun fact, this little AOL logo is actually a GIF and it would spin around and blink as you were online. Being able to enter chat rooms, use AOL Instant Messenger, and send emails was a truly novel development at the time. Previously, you had to call people's home phone and hope they were home to answer, send letters, or leave the house and meet somewhere. If you went to the wrong Applebee's, well, too bad. Looks like you're eating your mozzarella sticks in silence and alone, you peasant. Eventually, AOL's empire began to crumble. Websites got more advanced, and dial-up services just weren't cutting anymore. They had this really cursed merger with a media company called Time Warner, and online advertising rates were plummeting faster than NFT values today. In fact, the year that this version of AOL 7.0, came out, they announced a $99 billion loss. AOL still exists somehow. They were even bought out by an Italian company called Bending Spoons last year for $1.5 billion. Anyway, do you have any memories of AOL? Tell me below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.